Clark County Registrar of Voters Gloria joins us this morning to talk about that and some other important information as the election day gets closer. We can't stress these deadlines enough. And that deadline for in-person voter registration was yesterday. So if you missed that, Joe, where and how can you register now?
At this point, voters are going to need to register online through the Secretary of State's website. They can get to that link on our website. That's clarkcountynv.gov/vote. They will be required to have a Nevada driver's license or Nevada ID to do so. They can also register in person during the same day registration for early voting and election day at all sites where we'll be voting.
So they'll just have to upload a picture of their ID, is that it, as a file?
No, sir. They just need to log on to the online registration link, and then it'll ask for information, their Nevada driver's license number, get them registered.
Okay. Everyone should have received their sample ballots by now, is that right?
Sample ballots are still going out, but the majority of voters in Clark County have already received them. Today is the big day for mail ballots. They will begin to drop in the mail today, and so voters will begin to see those in the mail. I encourage them to study their ballot, make their choices, and either put that in the mail with a postage-paid envelope or drop it off at a drop-off location.
That was my next question, so people will start getting them next week, maybe later this week. Tell us when early voting starts, though, again.
Another important date, that's next Saturday, October 17th. For 14 days, we'll be providing early voting. For those of you who have received your sample ballot, you should go ahead and scan that sample ballot if you wish to vote in person, I should say, and make a determination on the site that's most convenient for you to show up and vote in person.
Are more and more people opting for that early voting locally?
Well, as far as the 17th through the 30th, we know that we have a large group of people who are intent on voting in person, and that's why we provide the service through early voting and on election day with their vote centers. But with everybody receiving a mail ballot, we know that our numbers are going to be considerably higher for those people choosing to vote by mail.
I know you've already prepared and have extra staff in place for in-person voting on November 3rd. Do you think that will also be a big turnout?
It's hard to say. I think halfway through the early voting cycle, when we see how many mail ballots are coming in, I think the early voting and election day numbers will be lower than they have been in the past as a result of everybody receiving a mail ballot and having that option to take advantage of.
Yeah. I know you're a busy guy, Gloria. Thank you so much for joining us, Registrar of Voters, and answering our questions this morning. Always good to get this information out and repeat it several times.
Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right, Joe.